judge overseeing a legal battle between actress Blake Lively and director Justin Baldoni has threatened to move up their trial date if the war of words they are conducting via the media doesn't.
Justin allegedly got hold of some explicit tapes that could shake up Blake Lively's marriage to Ryan Reynolds. Sources claim these tapes may reveal serious secrets about Blake and Justin Baldoni's complicated history, details that could send shockwaves through Hollywood. The big question: is this all just a publicity stunt, or is Justin about to drop a bombshell that changes everything? Here's where it gets wild. For the first time, leaked text messages and voice memos not included in the official lawsuit have surfaced. These didn't come from legal files. They're leaks, and they reveal major secrets about Blake and Justin's interactions that could completely contradict previous claims. There's even footage from the It Ends With Us movie set showing Blake contradicting much of what she alleged in her complaint. All of this is expected to play a key role in the upcoming trial, and some insiders are comparing her potential fallout to what Amber Heard faced. It gets even more intense. Reports suggest Blake allegedly tried to leverage Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds to pressure Justin and Sony Pictures. The threat? Hand over the film to her, or she'd withdraw her celebrity support, meaning no promotion from her hundreds of millions of followers. That kind of influence attempt apparently backfired spectacularly, leaving Blake in a precarious position. If these leaks gain traction in court, this could become one of Hollywood's most talked about scandals yet.
Will admit and apologize when I fail. I am far from perfect. I am a very flawed man, as my wife will attest. And and I'm gonna fuck up. I'm gonna say the wrong thing. I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth. I'm gonna piss you off, probably, but I will always apologize and find my way back to center.
Here's the full story. Colleen Hoover, the author of It Ends With Us, sold the movie rights to Justin Baldoni in 2019. She was actually the one who suggested he play the lead role, Rial. On top of that, they were friends, and Colleen was heavily involved in the script, even promoting the movie alongside Justin after all the alleged harassment claims surfaced. Awkward, right? Things got messy after Blake Lively filed her lawsuit. Colleen hopped on Instagram to show support for Blake, but this came after the interview you just saw. Tensions escalated when Blake wasn't allowed to edit the movie her way. Reports suggest she then refused to promote it unless she had full creative control. Here's the real tea on why Justin was seemingly being pushed out. Sources say Justin consistently praised Blake's talent, complimented her in interviews, and co-promoted the film. Meanwhile, Blake allegedly blocked him from much of the production, took full control of editing and marketing, and even turned Colleen Hoover against him. Throughout all of this, Justin reportedly never complained or spoke negatively about Blake publicly. Ironically, text messages reportedly show Blake thanking Justin and acknowledging his talent and effort, even letting him make decisions early on. Yet publicly, she had nothing positive to say about him. She also reportedly made a big deal about alleged inappropriate behavior during intimacy scenes, despite having significant control over how those scenes were handled. Whenever she could have praised Justin's work, she allegedly avoided it and shifted the conversation elsewhere. Honestly, Blake seems to have been playing the game, and playing it well. Every move appeared calculated, maintaining an image while controlling the narrative. According to insiders, she knew exactly what she was doing, managing both perception and production to keep the spotlight fully on herself while sidelining Justin. In Blake's lawsuit, she claimed Justin improvised and kissed her too much. But let's be real, there were only 2 kissing scenes before they took a break. When Blake returned, she suddenly had a bunch of new demands and, on top of that, refused to meet with the intimacy coordinator before filming even started. Kind of fishy, right? In Toro 4. Here's the full scoop. Part of the reason Colleen Hoover sided with Blake could be because she was brought in to help finish the film after Blake took over the editing room. But there's another layer. If Colleen thought Justin's script was that strong, why was Blake constantly making changes to it during filming? Something doesn't add up. And trust me, we're about to see how Blake and Ryan Reynolds have allegedly been trolling Justin for a while. Blake's harassment claims during production don't hold up under scrutiny. In her lawsuit, she said Justin improvised too much during scenes and kissed her more than he should have. But there were only 2 kissing scenes before production paused. When filming resumed, Blake suddenly dropped a bunch of new demands. On top of that, she refused to meet with the intimacy coordinator before filming started, even though Justin followed all the proper protocols, a clear red flag. This may explain why Colleen ended up backing Blake. Blake also pulled strings to get Colleen involved in the editing process after taking control of the film from Justin. But that wasn't the only reason Colleen sided with her. There's more to that story, which we'll get to later. Here's where it gets even crazier. Colleen had previously raved about Justin's original script, calling it excellent. So, why was Blake suddenly rewriting lines on set? Something felt off. And those harassment claims Blake made? Plenty of evidence contradicts her story, and Justin's team has been meticulously tracking it all. After all the drama, Justin cast Isabella Ferrer as young Lily in the movie, but here's the kicker. The final decision wasn't even really his. It was Taylor Swift who convinced Blake that Isabella was perfect for the role. The whole production was a tangled web of influence, edits, and behind-the-scenes maneuvering that paints a very different picture than what Blake's lawsuit suggests.
You were even the intimacy coordinator in some of your scenes, like we saw you.
That shouldn't be happening, by the way. I just want to be clear that you should not be the intimacy coordinator. You should definitely hire intimacy coordinators, which we did have.
Well,
thank goodness.
You were teaching Justin how to pull you in.
Where have you
love
seen
that.
this?
That
I
clip.
actually just saw it too. It was on Instagram yesterday, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, romance is really important. You're supposed to, tell a story well and make people feel, but you're also supposed to do it in a way that, is safe and respectful for all. I guess that's the role of intimacy coordination. But when I think of my involvement in the film, I don't really see that as the thing that I did.
Here's the full rundown. Even though Justin was the one who noticed Isabella's talent, cast her, and pitched her to Blake and Taylor, his role in the decision basically got brushed aside. Justin was hyping Isabella up the entire time, praising her acting skills privately. Isabella appreciated his support behind the scenes, but publicly? Crickets. When the premiere rolled around, she went full Team Blake, even though she had never worked with Blake on set, only with Justin. Yet Blake still managed to reel her in. Blake wasn't messing around. She styled Isabella, took her to premieres, and even brought her to sets like Deadpool and Wolverine, hanging out with Ryan Reynolds. Blake was clearly working to get Isabella into her inner circle. By this point, Isabella was essentially ghosting Justin. It was obvious why Blake and Colleen were running the show. If a sequel happens, Isabella's chances of landing a role look strong. Blake knows how to make strategic moves and keep everyone on her side. Total strategist vibes. It gets even messier. Blake and Ryan were shaping the movie, rewriting lines daily, something most actors never get to do. Blake played the underdog card with Justin, complaining how other directors had held her creativity back. Feeling guilty, Justin let her rewrite a big rooftop scene. Blake made sure to mention that Ryan and Taylor loved her changes, adding even more pressure on Justin to comply. With Blake and Colleen in control, Isabella's future in a possible sequel was looking solid. Justin kept bending over backward to keep Blake happy, but she was playing him from the start. It all began with her rewriting that rooftop scene. Justin liked the changes and agreed to incorporate some, but Blake flexed her Hollywood connections, calling herself Casey with Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift as her dragons. Not subtle at all. One scene wasn't enough. She wanted to rewrite the whole script, making daily changes. Justin went along, trying to keep things smooth, but she questioned every scene and every decision he made. Then came the fat-shaming drama. Justin's texts reveal the truth. Apparently, Ryan aggressively accused Justin of fat-shaming Blake after Justin privately asked her trainer about her weight. For context, Justin has chronic back issues and needed to lift Blake for a scene, so asking for her weight was standard prep work. But Blake spun it, claiming it was evidence of subtle digs at her body. She even alleged that Justin had put her in touch with a weight loss specialist, which added another layer to the controversy. Blake's maneuvering, Justin's compliance, and Ryan's involvement created a tangled web of control, influence, and public misperception, painting a messy, high-stakes behind-the-scenes battle that's only now coming to light. Supposedly, another way Justin was fat-shaming Blake. But the texts paint a completely different picture. Justin actually connected her with a gut health expert because she had been on multiple rounds of antibiotics. And speaking of texts, they revealed Justin reassuring Blake about her body, not shaming her. When Blake wanted to push back on body scenes because she wasn't feeling in shape yet, Justin told her she would look amazing and that they'd work around her insecurities. Meanwhile, Blake herself joked about still having 20 pounds to lose after her fourth baby. Now let's rewind to February 2023, when the drama really blew up during filming. Justin reached out to Blake's trainer, Don Saladino, for advice on how to safely lift her in a scene. Don sent him a workout program, and at some point, Justin privately asked about Blake's weight, a completely reasonable question given the circumstances. The next day, Justin was summoned to Blake and Ryan's penthouse. As soon as he walked in, Ryan went off on him, swearing and demanding to know why he would dare ask about his wife's weight. Justin, blindsided, apologized repeatedly, just trying to keep the peace. Ryan then demanded that the lift scene be completely removed, and Blake outright refused to do it. To add more fuel to the fire, Blake's trainer, Don, later edited an old post just last week to distance himself from Justin, making it clear that Blake is his real client and doubling down on loyalty to her. The texts do not back up Blake's claims. If anything, they showed Justin supporting her while she played up the drama behind the scenes. Now, with 168 pages of emails, texts, and WhatsApp messages revealed in Justin's lawsuit, this legal battle is just heating up. Blake also wanted all the raw clips, but other crew members weren't on board because that's not standard practice. Justin, trying to accommodate her, gave her some footage anyway. When he finally refused to provide more, Blake immediately went to Ryan and her lawyers with a new list of demands, effectively holding the entire production hostage, threatening Justin's career, the movie schedule, and even testing Sony's patience. Speaking of production, leaked behind-the-scenes footage directly contradicts Blake's harassment claims. She alleged that Justin acted inappropriately, sniffing her and kissing her neck during a scene, but the raw clips tell a different story. They show both of them staying in character, joking between takes to build on-screen chemistry. At one point, Blake herself suggested more interaction to make the scene look romantic. The whole situation is starting to feel like another Amber Heard moment. Blake played the victim, twisted events, and used her influence to get what she wanted, making Justin look like the villain. But the receipts tell a different story. The original scene didn't even have dialogue. It was just a romantic gesture from Justin's character. Blake suggested adding lines to make it feel more intimate. Justin agreed, and they filmed both versions, fully aware of the creative adjustments. From the texts, the trainer advice, the footage, and Justin's consistent professionalism, it's clear the narrative Blake pushed publicly doesn't line up with the evidence. The legal battle is only beginning, and the documentation shows that Justin's side is heavily supported by hard evidence, emails, WhatsApp messages, and video clips that reveal a very different story than what Blake claimed. In the behind-the-scenes footage, Justin is actually seen complimenting Blake and Ryan's real-life relationship, calling it cute, and even sharing sweet details about his own marriage. So, where's the inappropriate behavior? The entire exchange comes across as professional, friendly, and far from what Blake publicly described. Blake was heavily involved in every aspect of production and is known for her marketing skills. Somehow, she even managed to convince Ryan that Justin was the bad guy in all of this. The big question is, why would Blake, Colleen Hoover, and the rest of the cast turn against Justin when he directed the movie that made them all successful? The simplest answer: power moves and the sequel. The follow-up, It Starts With Us, is already in the works. While Justin still owns the rights, Blake has shown interest in directing it. Justin even supported the idea, calling her a powerhouse. But it seems Blake has her own agenda. She's pulled Ryan Reynolds, Taylor Swift, and others to her side, and naturally, the cast and writer loyal to her have started distancing themselves from Justin. Here's the catch: Justin still holds the sequel rights. The only way Blake could take over is if Justin voluntarily stepped aside or if a morality clause in his contract with Sony or Colleen Hoover is triggered. If Justin were found guilty of harassment or caused reputational damage to the movie, that clause could send the rights back to Sony or Hoover, allowing Blake to step in as director while Justin would still profit from the sequel's success. It's a calculated move, considering how massive the first film was. The drama doesn't end there. Reports indicate that as far back as September, before any legal battles began, Ryan Reynolds allegedly tried to buy Justin out of the sequel rights. He reportedly offered millions, knowing the movie would be a hit. Justin turned him down, likely due to how he was treated by Ryan and Blake during those negotiations. Sources say that when Justin met them at their penthouse to discuss the sequel, the conversation went completely sideways, derailing their plan to convince him. So, if you think about it, Blake filing a harassment lawsuit could be her last-ditch effort to push Justin out and secure the director's chair for herself. According to Justin, this whole situation is heartbreaking. He remembers Blake comforting him during a difficult meeting with Sony about wardrobe and casting backlash, praising his talent as both an actor and director. He genuinely thought they were on the same side, so seeing her turn on him like this has been shocking, but of course, not all the receipts are public, and everyone is innocent until proven guilty. But something about this whole scenario just doesn't add up. Power plays, sequel ambitions, and shifting loyalties are all at play, and the optics are messy. The audience is left wondering, is this just a legal battle, or is it a strategic move by Blake to take control of one of Hollywood's biggest hits? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's hear what you think about this tangled web.